This short clip is from my live trading room. You can engage directly with my fabulous team and me at LaDucTrading.com for all our research and trades. Or for just my daily live streams, you can access via YouTube memberships. All links are in the description. Market's calming down a little bit. It's been a long week, huh? Like lots happening. So we got a little bit of a bounce this morning and not a surprise. So we've got first lots and lots of stuff on a little bit of support. Let's go over that. Little bounces, by the way, little bounces. Here is your SPY evening star reversal right down to that 21 week right here, that blue level. I can't show SPX yet, obviously. Qs came all the way down to the 30 week. So remember how I had to update that? I had given 600 Monday, and then I said, nope, we're going to have an overshoot to 595 because that was the 30 week. It was weaker than SPY. Well, the 30 week was, in fact, 595. Now, I still gave an overshoot. In other words, we bounce here, wouldn't surprise me, then we come back down to 583. So we have a little bounce in progress. And it is Friday. They stabilize, options expiration, all that jazz. Also, monetization of the puts. Folks that are obviously hedging into this downdraft that we've got with metals volatility and crypto volatility and SaaS volatility, software volatility, and Amazon post earnings down 11%. It has bounced a little bit. NVIDIA with Amazon, with Microsoft, with Tesla, all the names that you expect that are on life support type of thing. Microsoft, like, whoa, it's headed to the 200 week. Well, first it's going to bounce. And you know that this really, really interesting how it came right down to 395 and it's coming back up. But it's also very, very helpful that you've got continued advance in value stocks that we've been stalking. So they're doing okay. They haven't started to roll over. And then, of course, you have Bitcoin. That is all the rage here. Got a little support here at 60,000. So you know my 65,000 price target that I had for a good long while. So we got this October high, broke the 200-day, flash crash really up, and then another flash crash. Perfect little kind of age pattern. Anyway, 65,000 was the level I gave last year. I thought if it was going to go slowly, it would hit by summer. Well, it hit by February, first week of February. And I want to also point out that it's a decisive gap down. And this is very important because even though we're having little bounces right now, I think they're going to fade. This was the first, Sunday the 1st, after the Epstein files came out. And oh my God, Epstein was just tied to the UK and the EU bailout and the 2008 financial crisis at Bear Stearns and the Bitcoin, 3 out of 5 of the developers at the MIT Media Lab. And oh my God, this is just beyond incestuous. This is just weird. So anyway, the point is all that came out in Bitcoin gap down. Now on a daily, you know how I am about gaps, but this is a gap down on a weekly and it's a gap down on a monthly. Let me clean that up. Look at that. Like that is shock. That is fear. That is loathing. And it's not a joke. The Trump media, the boys that run that there, they had to sell Bitcoin to meet a margin call on a loan. So not for nothing, but a lot of folks, very inside and out, retail and institutional, were absolutely caught off sides, MSTR as well. So anyway, you have this fear of, oh, wow, everything's going to absolutely flash crash. I don't go that. But we have some nice levels of little interim support is what I wanted to say about that. So we got that 65,000, which is a monthly level, my 65,000 from a measured move level. We overshoot to 60, which is a fib level. You get the idea. So they monetize some puts here. That's groovy. They're ready for the weekend. That's how it works. So they monetized puts. They also got freaked out last night because of metal volatility. So if you notice, we had another, I'm putting this on a monthly just to show you. I can do it weekly so it doesn't freak you out. But you can see where the low of this, it says 58.70 something. So you know I had 61, it overshot, let's just call it 59. It shot to 59 and then boom, it popped right back up to 67. Now that's again, lovely. Buyers are coming in, you think. They want silver so badly, or they're monetizing because that's a really great place for a bounce. And if you recall, that's exactly the level I gave you on Saturday. So after we had this violent 39% peak to trough drawdown in silver, 16% peak to trough drawdown in gold, I said I still see lower. and I gave those levels, and 61 was my level. So this hit after hours last night. You can't see it, but see the 61? That hit, obviously, and now we're right back above it in a little bounce. Groovy. There is potential for a big whale to cover his shorts. There is a detail on this I saw yesterday morning, and then a write-up I saw last night where there is a very large whale in China who has basically been forced from short selling anymore. He's been closed off along with 5 others. And whether it's conspiracy or they're just seeing the writing on the wall that it's a FOMO and they want to press, the point is they can't do anything but cover. So there will be bounces. At the very least, there will be bounces from shorts that have to cover. And that one in particular still has a very large silver short. He has no choice but to cover. So it's that type of shadow behind the scenes we can't tell. So all I'm trying to do is best efforts here is where this thing looks technically, according to buyers and sellers in my experience, still weak after a bounce. All bets are off, of course, if we get escalation in Iran, which seems to be growing. Sadly, this also came out last night, which, by the way, probably helped that bounce tremendously. Iran-US escalation is picking up. The US posted this notice that they want Americans to leave Iran now. So you have a combination of technical support bounce, Iran escalation bounce, short covering bounce. I don't care, but it's still a mess as it relates to investor confidence. So big picture, we still have a mini bounce within a very chaotic backdrop of Bitcoin volatility for reason, metal volatility for FOMO reason, unwind, and also market volatility as case in point, Amazon. So we talked about this before it fell out of this triangle, how it's going to be really tough. Right now, they're kind of going through short-term pain for long-term gain. They crushed earnings, by the way. That's not even worth debating. So if you're a fundamental consensus investor, you just stay long because you're like, they crushed earnings. But that's not the point. The negative cash flow is still a worry to investors. The 30,000 head count that's coming off is a worry because they have to invest in this AI infrastructure. All of them are beyond belief. And investors are starting to doubt that this is a good idea. And so they're being punished severely.
Join Club today to engage with Samantha and her team of 10 experts. Scan this QR code or click the link in the description. Subscribe to LaDuc Trading YouTube channel for more live trading room recap videos and other content.